Hello, everyone. Thank you. Thank you so much for taking interest in my video. Right now, it's a really, really beautiful day. It's a really beautiful day. And the weather has been incredible for the past week. It's been really incredible for me. And for that reason, I've been getting all this divine uninterrupted energy from the sun. Like there's been no clouds in the sky for the whole week, and it has inspired me quite a bit. And I've made a couple of videos because the energy coming to me has really made me feel good, and I guess I want to reflect some of this energy back to the universe. But in the future, I want to, I guess, not just focus on sunshine, sun energy, because there's more energies in the universe, not just sunshine. And I want to learn how to tap into all of these because, there's a whole lot more to life. And I'm on a mission to learn about this as well. So, stay tuned for that. Stay tuned. It's coming. It may take some time, but it's coming. All right. So in this video, what am I going to talk about? I'm going to focus on sun gazing in this video, but not just sun gazing for the sake of sun gazing, but I'm going to talk about like the eye, how sun gazing works in relation to our eye and what it does through our eye, and how our eyes utilize the sun, and how we become more enlightened and powerful from sun gazing through the light's interaction through our eyes. Okay, so what is the eye? What does the eye do? When you ask a question like this, the first answer you'll get usually is the eye is to see. But this is true, but the eye can do so many other different functions. It's not just to see. And the one function, one of these several functions that I know of that it has, the one that I'm going to focus on today is the eye's ability to orient us to everything, to the world, to the universe, so that we know exactly where we are, who we are, and our place in everything, which is really the epitome of everything, the epitome of our existence, the epitome of our being. This is really important to know what to do, who you are, your place in the universe, and how to utilize and get the most out of this reality. So, you're probably thinking, okay, it orients us. What do you mean by it orients us? Well, here's an analogy. If what I previously just said didn't really click with you, think about a cat or some really agile creature. If they're thrown in the air for some reason, or they jump in the air, they have very good coordination. They have the ability to orient themselves and catch a branch and swing to the next branch, or land on the ground on their feet. And they can do this stuff effortlessly. And by orienting ourselves, we can have the ability to do, not necessarily catching a branch or landing on our feet when we fall from a high place, but navigating through our lives and being able to deal with everything on our own terms in the best way that we can do it. And that's one function of the eye. The eye, through sun gazing, allows us to do just that. It allows us to connect with everything and orient ourselves to everything. And it does this by, when the sun comes through your eyes, it gives you, or gives your eyes, your brain, your body, a certain spectral density of light. And that spectral density is always changing, just like life is always changing. And if you stay in tuned with this spectral density of light, the more you're in tune with it, the more you will know what to do moment by moment, which is another reason to stay connected to it, so that your mind, your body, and your soul stays educated on its place in reality, in this dimension, in this world that we live in. And I mentioned spectral densities of light. And the spectral densities of light, if you don't already know, you have the infrared, the orange, the yellow, the green, the blue, indigo, and ultraviolet spectrums of light. These are the spectrums of light that we use here on Earth, that gets through our atmosphere, that the heavens send to us. And these spectrums, as I mentioned before, they constantly change, and they're constantly sending information to us about what time it is in the day, what time it is in the year, or what season, and what time it is over long stretches of eternity. It just constantly tells you like what time it is. And it's very important to stay in tune and stay connected with this. And through sun gazing is one way you can really connect with this and orient yourselves in tremendous magnified fashion, because you're getting tremendous amount of light into your body, you're getting a tremendous message, and you're getting tremendous orientation. Then all of a sudden you go from that I guess I made the comparison earlier about an animal. You go from an animal that, they don't land on their feet, they can't catch the branch, they're clumsy. You go from that animal to a well-trained animal that can effortlessly just navigate through its environment. And the same thing with you. Maybe you don't consider yourself an animal, but knowing and being oriented with reality, you know how to deal with everything. You can just go through life with very good coordination. And when I say coordination, I'm talking about your dealings with people, not necessarily just, flipping through, doing gymnastics or something like this, but I mean just dealing with just life as it comes to us, being flexible when it comes to that. And that's what sun gazing does to you. It orients you. And we could take this a step further. We could go further with this when we talk about it orienting you. Like, I'm just talking about I guess really practical things right now, but let's make it a little bit esoteric. Let's talk about the spiritual side, and like the things that are less well understood. It'll bring those things to light more. These things will become more apparent. And particularly, they will become more apparent the higher your abilities, the more your abilities increase. These things will become more apparent. And that has been my experience. Like, I feel I can tap into other, I guess, dimensions, realities, or states of consciousness that I wasn't able to tap into previously. And I feel that there are more states of consciousness or reality dimensions that I have not tapped into yet so far. And I'm trying to increase my abilities. And one way is through sun gazing and increasing your abilities to sun gaze. And of course, there's levels to it. You start in the beginning, it'll be for a lot of people very difficult to do. You won't be able to do that much because the light coming from the sun or the energy coming from the sun, all of this it's information. It's information. And think about it as you're learning something new. And if someone throws too much information at you or information is way too complex, you won't get it, you won't understand it, therefore you'll reject it, you'll say it's ridiculous, but really you just don't understand it or you just don't have the ability to digest it. And the same thing with this, which I guess it's important to do it in stages, which I had to kind of learn the hard way. But it's important to learn to do it in stages because you have to build a foundation first and build up slowly and still pay attention and follow your instincts, of course, so that everything. Listen to yourself. You have all the answers anyway, and you'll get the answers from yourself if you listen closely and you listen truthfully. But if you want to, I guess, look at it like, I guess, from a biochemical standpoint and how it orients us with reality, with other dimensions, we could make it a little more practical. We could talk about it from a biochemical standpoint. I think most people are familiar with the brain chemical called dopamine. What does dopamine do? Or what effect does dopamine have on us as people? Dopamine, it helps us see patterns. It helps us see trends. It helps us be able to change. It helps us connect ideas together. And this is the brain chemical that is made through the eye from UV light. The UV light in the sun, it creates dopamine in the eye, through the eye. And this is really important brain chemical that is important for us to function intelligently and just to be able to go from 1 to 2 to 3, stage to stage to stage. It's really important. And a person with low dopamine, they can't see patterns. They can't put things together. They stay in their same problem and it just repeats itself because they just can't understand it enough to fix it, or they do understand it, but they just don't have the willpower to act on it and change it. That's what low dopamine does to you. And this is just one of many examples of benefits that we get through sungazing. I just gave you one example, from I guess biochemical standpoint. But we could take this to I guess through a spiritual understanding or even some other esoteric viewpoint understanding and how it works. But the point is, it's information and it's guiding us. And this is one way to absorb this information. And your eyes, that's one function that they have. They orient you. They orient you to reality. And I just mentioned it uses it uses the sun, the spectral density of the sunlight to tell you exactly what time it is. And knowing what time it is all the time is really important. And I'm not talking about the time on your clock or the time on your watch. I'm talking about the time in the universe. And when I say time, I don't really believe in time, like clock time. When I say time, I'm just saying just the progression of things and how they progress. When I talk about time, I don't really believe in time. But, of course, I use clocks, but it's just a tool. It's just a tool. All right. I'll stop here. I think I drove my point pretty well. But if I didn't drive my point well enough, you can drop questions in the comment section below, and maybe I could do a future video on your question if it can generate, I guess, enough discussion or enough ideas to push forth another video or another topic that is, I guess, broad enough to use. But thank you so much, And in the future, I want to make more videos about related to sun gazing, as I did with this. As I mentioned, there's multiple functions of the eye. I want to talk about other functions and how they relate to sun gazing. I also want to I'm also going to make a video in the future on sun gazing about the makeup of the eye, the energetic makeup, what the eye is made of, and what those components do, and how they react to the sun. Because they're they're really they do some really incredible things that a lot of people are not aware of. And the eye, it's just like anything else, the human body and all other creatures, they follow an amazing design. And like once you start understanding these designs, it's really empowering, and you realize like all the potential that's just locked beneath the surface within us. But I'll stop here. Thank you so much for tuning in. I really appreciate it. It's Friday here. It's end of October 2017, and you know, life is good. Life is good. I love myself, and I love you. I love you so much, and thank you so much. I'm out. I really appreciate it. I'll see you. Bye.